Hello, everyone. This is Melinda Russell with the Women's Motorsports Network podcast. And my guest today is Jillian Cole. And Jillian, I want to welcome you to the show. Would you first share a little bit about yourself for us?
Well, I'm 16. I'm currently a junior in high school, and I have a brother who races as well. Um,
Do you have any pets?
I have 5 cats, 3 dogs, and fish.
Wow, that's a lot to take care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is your brother younger or older?
He's like a minute older. We're twins.
Oh, you're twins. Okay. All right. So you're the little sister, even though you're not very much younger.
Yeah.
Awesome, for sure. Well, Jillian, how did you and your brother, but how did you get interested in motorsports?
My parents, my mom's especially, she went to a racetrack that we lived by pretty much every Saturday. So I always kind of thought that I would grow up racing a big car, but I think when I was in like 6th grade, she found something to race quarter midgets. So we went to go try that out, ended up liking it, and for 7 or so years after, I started racing those. And then just like last year, I moved out of quarter midgets and was racing outlaw karts.
Okay. So you moved up from quarter midgets. How do you like racing outlaw karts?
It's different. The drivers are more aggressive, and I'm still getting used to having a bigger track, more cars, and
Mhm.
just all the different rules that
Yeah.
they have compared to quarter midgets.
Everything's just a little bigger, a step up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But as you get older, that's kind of, what happens, I think, for sure. So tell me about your cart. What color is it? What number is it? Tell me about it.
One of the cars I race currently, it's like a white car with red stripes on the front of it. I don't know how else I can call them, with white wing and kind of blue. But I have another car that has a black front end and like a silver wing. The
Okay.
car I currently race now, the number is 71W, and my other car, it's like the spare car, and so the number on it is 18.
Okay. All right. And where do you go to race? Do you race mostly at one track or do you travel around?
I mostly race at Chowchilla in Chico, but I sometimes race at other track, not Chowchilla, Cycleland in Chico.
Okay.
I sometimes race at Chowchilla when they have their like winter series,
Yeah.
but that's so far the only two I've raced at.
Okay. All right. What was the hardest thing for you going from quarter midgets to outlaw carts? Other than I realize, it's a bigger, older people, all that. But as far as just you yourself with the cart, what was the hardest thing for you to learn?
Just learning how to control the car. The car I race now has a clutch, so if I spin out, I have to hold it to keep my car going, and it's a new learning curve for
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah. That's totally different than your quarter midget for sure.
Yeah.
So do you have any marketing partners or sponsors that help you with your race program?
I have quite a few. My main sponsor who owns the Outlaw Karts is J&M Motorsports. People who also sponsor me are Paradise Signs, TEC Creations, Williams Racing, and Manolis Motorsports.
Okay, so you've got quite a few that are partners with you for sure. Um, they really help, don't they, to have somebody that believes in you and wants to help you with your racing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're 16 years old. Do you think racing is something you're going to do for a while?
I think it will. I hope it is, honestly. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. So you don't want to give it up. You want to just keep going. Will you continue to race carts, or are you looking down the road at something else, something different?
It honestly all depends on what my sponsors plan to put me in.
Okay.
they're kind of the only reason I've grown, like, continued racing to Outlaw Karts. Other than that, after quarter midgets, I probably wouldn't have done anything else.
Okay. All right. So it's kind of a team effort between you and them for sure. Yeah. So
Yeah.
do you work on the cars at all, or do they take care of them for you?
The owner of the car, he pretty much takes care of it. My dad sometimes helps on it, like, he goes over to his house and helps, or when we're racing, he helps. But I
Okay.
just drive the car.
Okay. All right. So what's your most favorite thing about being involved in motorsports?
Just the thrill of racing and, like, how accomplished I feel after I get out of the car. I feel like I really just have done something for myself, and I just feel happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because that's a big deal. There's when you think about it, there's not a lot of people that get the chance to do that. If you think about the kids you go to school with or your friends group, you're probably about the only one that races. And so makes you kind of unique, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you play any other sports?
No.
Okay. Concentrate on racing, right?
Right.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So, do you go to school or are you homeschooled?
I do online school.
Okay. All right. So when you went to school, or even now your friends, do they understand about your racing and why you're gone every weekend at the racetrack or not so much?
I don't really have a lot of, like, friends my age. All the friends I have, they're, like, in racing and they're kind of adults.
Okay.
So,
All right. That's kind of it's maybe a little bit of a downside that happens, and yet if you really want to concentrate on your racing, that's a good thing that you're able to do that every weekend and have those adults that like mentor you and kind of show you the way for sure. So if
yeah.
you have a bad day at the racetrack, what do you do? Do you throw your helmet? Do you cry? Do what happens when you have a bad day?
I just sometimes I cry. I don't like I sometimes just kind of sit somewhere and relax, sometimes read on my phone or watch YouTube. I just try to relax and not let that anger out on other people because it's not their fault.
Yeah.
What happens, happens.
Yeah, that's true. And whether it's your fault or somebody else's fault, that's just how racing is, right? Things
Right.
happen. Yeah. As long as people aren't deliberately trying to wreck you, things happen and you just have to learn how to deal with all of that.
Yeah.
So, on a race day, do you have any things that you always do, like you always wear the same shirt or you always eat the same foods? Do you have any superstitions?
Uh, I used to have a superstition with the certain pair of gloves I had. They were like my lucky gloves because when I first got them, my racing has just improved. But I've wore them so much now that they've just kind of have holes in them.
Yeah. So you need a
So
new pair of lucky gloves.
yeah,
Yeah. That's cool though. Do you have any special or favorite music that you listen to on race day?
not particularly.
Okay. All right. And do you eat before you race or do you wait till you're done? A lot of kids can't eat before they race.
Yeah, when I eat during race days, I get so nervous that I can't hold it in, and I have to wait till I'm done.
Yeah. I hear that a lot from a lot of the adults too. They just say no, I can't eat until the racing's over for sure.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel? So, you do online school and you're involved in motorsports. How do you think maybe that has changed excuse me, changed you or made you into the person that you are today because you've been involved in motorsports? Has it taught you anything or helped you grow in any way that maybe wouldn't have happened if you hadn't been in motorsports?
Uh, it's taught me to be, like, more confident in myself. When I was younger, before I raced, I was just not really that confident in myself at all. Racing, like, I was bullied for racing quarter midgets in school. So I was always, like, insecure. When my mom would tell people about it, I'd always be like, Mom, stop. I always thought it was embarrassing, but going through the years, I just was happy about it and I was more confident about things and was more confident about myself.
And do you think they bullied you because they were jealous of what you were doing?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because it was
Yeah.
always these two boys who would always do it, and it was just so annoying.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I moved on to like online school to stop the bullying.
Yeah. And that's such a shame because there's no reason for it, and everybody has the same opportunities, you know, if they want to play baseball or they want to run track or whatever they want to do, but nobody bullies them for that. And so it's
Yeah.
just such a shame when I hear about that kind of thing going on, and hopefully that is changing and not happening as much as it used to be, for sure. So do you think being involved in motorsports is a good sport for a girl to be in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Why do you think so?
uh it just is uh
So you said it built
yeah.
confidence for you.
It
It
boosts
gave you,
confidence in people.
yeah, it gave you more confidence. It probably, you know, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but a lot of times I'll hear girls say that it kind of levels the field between boys and girls,
Yeah.
to where you don't have to feel like maybe you're not as good or as strong or as smart as some of the boys because it's supposedly a man's sport,
Yeah.
where women can excel just as easily as the men.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So are there very many girls that race against you when you go to race? Are there a lot of
Uh
girls?
there's a few. I actually know one of the girls I race with. I used to race with her in quarter midgets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she moved up too. So there's two of you.
Yeah, the same year I moved up.
Okay. And do most of these, like where you go to the track at Chico, how far is that from your house?
Uh maybe like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Okay. So it's a little ways away. These kids that you race against, or these people, don't live in your neighborhood.
No, they
No.
don't.
No. And so you've made friends way outside of your comfort zone, for sure, because they all come from all different directions to come and race, and yet you've made friends. So when you get to the track, does it feel like you're not only going to race, but you're going to hang out with your friends?
I just feel like just I'm gonna race. I get too jittery and just nervous. I can't really like talk straight. I,
Okay.
I don't really hang out that much.
Okay. All right. You're there to race. You got a purpose for
Yeah.
being there. Okay. That's all right. That's good for sure. So, do you have any advice that somebody's given you, or maybe some advice that you would give to somebody else about getting involved in motorsports?
Just it may look hard, but like don't give up on something you really are passionate about.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think is the hardest, like if somebody just, when you first get into it, let's say you first get in the car for the quarter midget, what is the hardest thing for somebody to learn?
Just hitting the gas and like passing was one of my struggles. I was pretty much the slowest one in training. It so like when I moved up to the fastest division there, it really just shocked people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks it feels a lot faster when you're on the track than it
Yes.
looks when you're sitting in the stands. And that makes it hard because people that have never done it or don't understand that when you're in the car, it feels way faster
Yeah.
than what it looks. Yeah, for sure. So you've got to go at your own speed and do what you're comfortable with until you're ready to move up. And so there's nothing wrong with that, for sure. Yeah. Um so sorry, I've got a bad cough. I'm trying to get over it. So Do your mom and dad, when you said, oh, yeah, you said your mom was kind of interested in racing. So are they the ones that encouraged you to get started?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were.
And then your brother, did he start about the same time that you did?
He did, but he has had a lot of like problems, so he took about a couple years off.
Okay.
Medical
Oh,
problems.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. But hopefully he'll be able to get back into doing that for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite memory, either good or bad? Something that happened good, a race you won, or you rolled the cart over, any kind of memories that you have that you want to share?
In quarter midgets, I raced World Formula and I was leading in the heat. Going into the checkered flag, one of my tires flies off towards like my other competitors behind me. I spin the other direction just enough to cross the checkered, and I ended up winning.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And you were okay. You didn't flip or anything.
No.
That's funny. You still made it across and won the race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's too funny. Have you ever had anything like, the car rolled or anything like that? Or you've been lucky none of that's ever happened?
Well, I was a novice just starting out racing with my brother, actually. We were racing at an asphalt track, and he apparently didn't like it that I passed him. So he spun me out, came around again, and then hit me so hard I flipped over.
Oh boy,
Yeah,
that he would have been in a lot of trouble if he was my boy hitting my girl.
he was.
He was in trouble. As well he should have been. Yeah, for sure. It's hard for boys to get beat by a girl, even if it is your brother.
Yeah,
They don't like that. They just
no.
don't like that at all, for sure. So do you have any like younger kids that kind of look up to you, or when you go to the track, do you have any little kids that come around and want to sit in your car or anything?
Um, no, actually.
Not really.
No.
No, that's okay. They will. As they watch you race and they get to know you more, there'll be more little kids that'll start to come around and be like, I want to sit in Jillian's car. I like her. She's my favorite driver. For sure. So, are you on social media, Jillian, at all with your racing?
Yes, we have an Instagram page and a Facebook page. It's just starting up, so we only have a few things posted on there.
Okay. All right. And do you do that, or does your mom and dad take care of it? Who takes care of your social media?
I take care of the Instagram one. My mom kind of works on the Facebook one.
Okay. All right. And is it under Jillian Cole, or what's the name of the pages? Do you know?
JNL Racing.
J&L. What's your brother's name?
Logan.
Logan. Okay. J&L Racing. Okay, that way people can kind of find you. And so once racing starts, then you'll post like where you're going to race or how you did and pictures and that kind of thing. Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So how soon will your racing season start?
I think my first race in for Cycleland is in May.
Okay. Okay. I wondered if it started a little sooner because you're in California where it's a little warmer than it is here in Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and what are you looking forward to the most this year as far as your racing?
Uh, I'm just looking forward to at least trying to get a win or just finishing a race in general. I've had bad luck at Cycleland where in mains, 2 laps to go, I get kicked off the track for like charging out. It's been a struggle.
It's been a struggle. So there's just some things that you've got to take care of and get figured out and then finish the race and
Yeah.
then hopefully finish near the top of the leaderboard, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So when you go to the track, what's a typical day look like? So you get up in the morning and you probably don't eat a whole lot, you said, but what's your day look like? Do you help get the carts ready? You go to the track. What do you do during the day?
We pretty much wake up, get all our stuff together, get our like small trailer because we don't haul the cars up there.
Okay.
Jimmy, the owner of the cars, he does.
Okay.
So we drive up there, and he drives up there, and um,
Do you kind of help get the cars ready to go though once you get there?
I try to,
Yeah.
but I
Okay.
kind of feel like I'm in the way sometimes. Cause
Well, yeah.
yeah,
The men, they kind of do it, don't they?
yeah,
Yeah, I get that part for sure. Yeah. And then, when it's time to race, you get yourself ready and you get out there to race, and I'm sure you have to go to the drivers meeting and do all those things as well, right? About
right.
how many races, like if on a typical weekend, about how many races would you do in a day's time?
Uh, he about like three. I think
Okay. I was
qualify.
thinking you probably did a heat race. Do you do
Yeah,
heat races and then uh features or whatever that you might do? Yeah. So you get to race 2 or 3 times on a weekend. That's pretty good. And do you just race one day on the weekend, just at the one track?
yes,
Yeah. That's probably enough because you're busy doing a lot of other stuff too, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we get home very late.
Yeah. Yeah. Going a couple hours away from home, I always tell people that, that shows me your commitment to racing, because a lot of people, me included, I have a lot of racetracks within 30 minutes of where I live. And I'm not a race car driver, but I go to the races. And so it makes it easy. I just decide which one I'm going to go to, and I hop in the car and I'm there 15, 20 minutes later. But a lot of people have to drive a fair distance to get to the track. And so you leave early in the morning and you get there and you're there the whole day and you don't get home till late at night. It shows a true commitment to racing, and that motorsports is important to you. So I admire you and your family for that, because it shows that it means a lot to your family to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So is this something, you're gonna look down we're gonna look down the road, Jillian. You're gonna be 10 years from now, and you're gonna look back and think, that was really a good opportunity for my family to spend time together. How do you kind of feel about that?
Um, Racing has really honestly brought kind of my family together, and sometimes fights have happened with other family members.
Yeah, that's
But
normal.
yeah, it's just more fun. I hang out with my family more.
Hmm. Yeah.
Just
And you're making memories that down
yeah,
down the road you're going to look back and, oh, remember the time Logan ran into me and spun me out. Remember the time, this happened or that happened. And those are the kinds of things that maybe you don't always think about when you're 16 or however old. But as you get older and you look back on your racing days, you realize that you were very lucky, and that you had a really good family and you made a lot of good memories. And that's pretty important, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah, it is for sure. Well, is there anything I haven't asked you about that you'd like to share about yourself or your motorsports?
Um,
Do you have any goals for this year? Finish a race. What else?
uh,
Top five?
top five. Try to win one.
Yeah. Yeah. Set some goals. Try to work towards those goals, and it'll happen for you, Jillian. I know it will. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for being on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to be here with me. You hold on here just for a second.